Guys, do you have any non-sponsors? Since we're already here. I do. Okay.
I actually have one, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Jon Bois. Jon Bois, man. He is the king of random. But he has a job that I would take in a heartbeat if someone offered it to me. I love research.
Got his Twitter account up on the screen right now.
I love doing research. I don't know why. Believe it or not, I look up and research just the most random things to unwind. I'll research. I can't even off the top of my head think of anything, but ask me to research something and I will get it for you. I've always had the gene, but I really honed it in journalism school and in law school, where it's essentially a necessity. So the fact that his job is researching just the most random things. His current series is the endangerment of Bob.
The Bob. It's up here on the screen. The Bob Emergency: A Study of Athletes Named Bob.
I haven't seen the second. It's a 2-part series. I didn't get a chance to see part 2 yet, which was released today. But part 1, the premise of it is I don't know how he was able to, and more importantly, how he even came up with the concept. Part 2 is good. I'm gonna check it out this evening when I get home. So for those who don't know, the concept is, he went back to like the 1890s, maybe even further back, and he's kept a track of every single Bob, not Robert.
Every athlete.
Every athlete.
Regardless of sport.
Regardless of sport.
Even wrestling, Charles.
Regardless of sport, regardless of level of sport. I mean, it has to be professional. No, that's not true, because he did college football as well. College sports.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But the main sports, basically, like, he's not going to go down to like the AHL, maybe. I don't know.
I think he's mentioned minor league names, but
right.
but he's covered everything.
So he created a graph of how many Bobs there have been, and at least in part 1, he said the pinnacle, the most Bobs around, it was almost like 600 Bobs. In the mid to late 1960s, and it's been a steady decline to the point where we're only at 9 Bobs right now, or something. We're in the single digits. So it is the Bob emergency that we're losing so many Bobs. And there have been a lot good Bobs, like me from baseball background: Bob Gibson, Bob Feller, Bob Lemon. Bob Brenly.
Yeah, and but not Bob Kraft. Well, he doesn't go by Bob. He actually goes by Robert.
Right.
And he does mention that in his second part. You have to see it.
Well, at least in the first part, he said he's only accepting people who go by Bob.
Right.
So Roberts need not apply. Even if their name is Robert, even that if that is their official name, if they go by Bob, they apply.
Yeah, he's the furthest thing from an athlete.
That is true.
Unless he was doing some athletic things in that tape that we can't see now. I don't know. Do you have any insight on that, Charles? No?
Oh, am I allowed to?
Go ahead. Fine.
It's just playing the game of who... you're killing me here. You're killing me. Just call it who finishes last. There you
go. Okay. We'll leave it at that. You can leave that to your imagination.
So, yeah, my non-sponsor's got to be Jon Bois. Who cares? I graduated law school. Who cares anymore? I first found out about him when he did his 17776 series, which was the state of football in the year 17,776. It's a mix of read and watch, mostly read. It is totally worth your time. I swear you will love it. That's how I first found out about him, and to the point why I bring up law school is that in the middle of one of my 1L classes, we were allowed to use laptops, and
I'm assuming it was torts.
No, it was spring semester.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I couldn't care less, or I think it was 1L. It could have been something else. But I couldn't care less about the class because 17776 was there. It had just been released, I think, like the last episode. And I said, screw this class. I am reading the finale of this. So in the middle of what I presume was an important law school class, I'm going through and reading this series, and I got the feels, man. The end of that series gave me the feels. I'm hoping that he does like a 177776 just to see how it plays out. But seriously, go check him out. His Twitter handle is right there.
Yeah, Jon_Bois.
And
there's like a running joke on every time SB Nation posts a video.
Where's Jon Bois?
Exactly, because he's I don't know if JonTron is posting more stuff now, but he's kind of like the JonTron of sports, where he doesn't post regularly at all, but when he does, it's a big one.
He is the equivalent of an investigative reporter, investigative journalist. Their job, they don't output much. Most reporters are expected to do X amount of stories a week. So they're judged on a day-to-day basis. Investigative reporters are on a month-to-month scale. He is the investigative reporter, investigative journalist of sports media, because he was off the air, quote unquote, for several months before he came back and did the search for the world's saddest punt,
right,
which was released a couple of months ago, and he did a whole mathematics system to determine what is statistically, by his method, the worst punt in the 21st century in the NFL.
So yeah, he really is a superstar, but he's actually the creative director. So any video that you're watching about SB Nation that's kind of interesting, like Collapse and all stuff, he probably has his hands in it. So even though he's not there, he's there. Yeah. So Jon Bois. All right, Charles, do you have somebody?
Yeah, I can do this real quickly.
Yay.
So the month of May is just extremely busy for me, mostly because it's holidays and birthdays. 2 weeks ago was Mother's Day, or somewhere around that line. Like a weekend change. It was Mother's Day. One of my close friends' birthday was on the 17th. Then my mother's birthday was on the 19th. So when it gets hectic, I know I'm going to go a little bit broke. But as an attorney, I feel that I have to kind of feel compelled to get you more than just a basic card that I made from a scrap note if you're a special person. So I typically frequent one place, and that's Hallmark. So my non-sponsor of the week is Hallmark. That gives you the variety of stuff that you need because you live in a podunk town like I do that doesn't have much variety when you're in the gift-giving sections. They got stuff that I like to give gifts for, the ornaments for Christmas. My sister loves peanuts, so I always get her like a little like live bubble of that. You get some cool ornaments too if you like weird stuff like I do to put on a Christmas tree. And of course the cards for every occasion, as grim humored as I have, for a raunchy happy birthday thing, a family oriented, happy birthday card, graduations, get well soon, sorry for your losses, which make me feel weird, but hey, people think a card's appropriate for that. Who am I to tell them not to get one? In fact, I'll tell them to go to Hallmark to get the best damn sorry for your loss sympathy card out there. It's just the place to go. Plus, I got to use a coupon, sign up for the Hallmark Crown membership thing. You save some money, and those cards are typically about $5, $6, $7, $8. Save $2-3. Hey, it's better than just getting 99 cents one. And what you can write in there is great, monumental, but at least the people that see will recognize as a Hallmark card, and maybe you care about them a little bit more than just going to the Dollar Tree and get the cute little puppy or cat thing. Step it up a game a little bit.
Oh no, I'm looking here on the screen. They got a little wiener dog one, and it pops out. It's 3D. That's pretty cool. I like that. They have a sushi one. This one's fun. Oh, they're all pop-ups. I like that.
Because look, if you're going to give them just a basic gift card like I do 9 out of 10 times, at least give them something that they're like, all right, it's something different besides a gift card insert holder.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
So Hallmark, we'll go with promo code birthdays.
Yay. Okay. Oh, this is fun. I haven't seen. Wow. These pop-up ones are really fun. I got to get these for my nephew when it's his birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll like that. Okay, well, and there's a dog with his head out the window of a car with sunglasses. That one's fun. Well, okay, sorry. Let me do mine. Yesterday, guys, I was in the city of Houston, Texas, home of the Astros, the Rockets, and the Texans. And I got out of court, was done for the day, had about maybe 3 or 4 hours to kill in Houston, Texas. Didn't know what to do, so I went on good old Yelp, and I'm like, you know what? Let's learn about the history of Houston, Texas. And I'm like, nah, that's too boring. Let's learn about the history of the world. So I'm like, I want to learn about the history of the world. So I decided to go to the Houston Museum of Natural Science. And the reason I went there is their massive collection of dinosaurs. My friends, I love dinosaurs. I've loved them since I was a kid. I still love dinosaurs. Honestly, like I won't mention anything about my case, but let's just say the dinosaurs put me in a very, very good mood afterwards. There's nothing in this world that cannot be solved by dinosaurs, really. Really nothing. Everything could be solved if we just had more dinosaurs, and that's
for meteors.
Except for meteors. That is the one thing that dinosaurs cannot prevent. But hopefully somebody will make Jurassic Park and life will find a way, because I'm hoping that dinosaurs do come back to life, and so I can have one, and I can train one, and I can just have it, and just have a dinosaur, because I like birds. And the reason I like birds is because birds are the closest things that we have to dinosaurs at this point. So the Houston Museum was actually really nice. They had like this collection of gems, like really expensive looking gems, like pay off my student loans gems that I wish I could have been able to take, but I cannot because that's illegal. They had a nice collection. They had this nice section. I don't know if anybody's been to those museums where they have like the animals, like the exhibits that you see, like animals and stuff. They have this exhibit of like Texas wildlife, and it's just all these animals that you find in Texas, stuffed, obviously, or not stuffed. I don't think they're real, but models of these animals. So that was a nice area to see. They had a giant marlin. Like they had something about like the Houston Museum actually has like this program where they research the migration patterns, or I guess the movement patterns of billfish. Billfish which includes marlins, sailfish, and swordfish. Basically, fishes that can stab you. Because apparently marlins are one of the fastest fish in the ocean out there, I think along with like the mako shark. They cover a lot of ground. They're huge. They're huge fish. So I think they said something that the marlins can actually tell them more about the environment of, especially the other fishes around the certain areas. So they're tracking marlins. I'm glad they're not. I'm not going to make fun of the Marlins. Gosh darn it, man! I know they're actually winning right now, 3-1. So, that was nice to see, because I was actually wearing my Marlins gear from the game. I actually wore the shirt while I was touring that museum. So I was going there. People were looking at me. I'm like, yes, I am the Marlins fan that you hear about, the one that you hear about. And it was a great museum, very nice. They have this butterfly exhibit, just a ton of butterflies, if you're into that as well. And honestly, and they actually have a really good food court, which is pretty interesting as well. So, and it's surrounded by all these other museums and this like huge public park there. So it's a really nice area to visit. It's in, I don't know, Houston's a huge city. It's massive. It's so widespread. Like that's the thing that kind of put me at unease, to be honest. But
I'm trying to see if I can get some of my RCFB mod friends who are from Houston to come in and chat with us really quick. I'm not sure if they'll be able to get in time.
Yeah, but the city, I ate at this place called Fat Bao, which is baos are like these buns, these Asian buns, and they like put stuff in it, and they're really good. If you any been to like an Asian fusion restaurant, they probably have it. Those were really good. But yeah, the Houston Museum of Natural Sciences promo code Life Finds a Way.